Hi, seventh grade. Today we're going to begin working on listening. If you have not watched this long video, the 18 and 20 minutes long, please close the current video that you're listening to and go back and listen to this video. You need to listen to this video first. Today, you are listening to my presentation, this one, that went over how I take notes. So today you're going to be taking notes. If you go to Classroom, you're going to all have a copy of this, and I went over this document already in this video. So right now I'm going to play a presentation, and you're going to fill this organizer out. Okay, this organizer has multiple parts, so please make sure that you fill all of it. Any work that is incomplete, I will return to you, and you will not be allowed to take the assessments. Okay. I added one thing here, and I want you to do this one. What is one thing you learned today? So the presentation for today is going to be on listen wise. You don't have to go to the website because I'm going to just record it here. This video is unlocked. That means that you can go back and forth. You can skip as much as you want or go back so that you can listen to the audio multiple times. So here's a presentation. As you listen, you should be taking notes on here. And then finally, you're going to be taking an assessment. The assessment is a practice assessment because on Friday, you're actually going to take the real assessment, but you're going to do this about 3 times before you actually get assessed. So you have multiple practices. Again, if you have not watched this video, please go back and watch this video. You have to watch this video it shows you how I want you to take notes. So here's a presentation. It's about Aztec canals and the water crisis in Mexico. I won't talk through the presentation because I don't want to interrupt it, okay?
The Fourth World Water Forum begins today in Mexico City. Hundreds of water conservation groups, government representatives, and scientists will spend the next several days discussing the world's most precious resource. The irony is, they're gathering in a city that would flunk any test of good water management. NPR's Lourdes Garcia Navarro reports on Mexico City's water woes.
In the still waters of the canals in an area called Xochimilco, Santos Contreras uses a long wooden pole to push his gondola along. As he propels himself, he explains that these present-day canals are the last vestiges of the Aztec city called Tenochtitlan.
Que los aztecas eran errantes.
The Aztecs were once wanderers. Their religious leaders told them that when they saw the sign of an eagle eating a snake, that would be the place their city would be built. The problem was that the sign came on a lake.
They settled there anyway, using mud from the lakebed to build islands. Slowly but inexorably, the islands became city blocks. They, in turn, became the neighborhoods that now make up the megapolis that is the Mexican capital.
Es algo de lo que quedó de la Ciudad de México.
Mexico City was once all water, pure water. This is all that is left of that.
The heart of present-day Mexico is the Zócalo, a teeming, enormous square that has at one end the municipal palace and at the other the National Cathedral. Protesters, hawkers, and tourists all come together in this historic district under a veil of smog produced by the over 20 million people who now live here. All that remains of the lakes is a vast aquifer deep underground. And to supply the expanding population with water, enormous amounts have been pumped out over the years, which has led to a problem.
The center of the city is sinking. If the buildings sink evenly, there's no problem. The problem is when one part sinks more than others.
Javier Cortés Rocha is an architect with the Mexican government. He says you only have to look at Mexico's cathedral to see what has happened here. At one point, one side of the church had sunk almost 8 feet, leaving the building badly lopsided. Mexican engineers have helped shore up the structure. They did such a good job, they've been advising preservationists at the Leaning Tower of Pisa. But the cathedral is not alone. Walk around the capital and you'll see now exposed pipes sticking several feet above the ground, looking like installation art. Cracked walls and warped sidewalks too. Some neighborhoods have been sinking at a rate of a foot a year.
with 22 million people nowadays and growing and expanding population, we've slowly depleted our aquifers and most of the water we had below us. And since the 70s and 80s, we've been actually bringing water from other states.
Ilan Adler is a professor of water technology in Mexico City. He says despite that measure, people have less and less water here.
In the 1950s in Mexico, we used to have approximately 12,000 liters per person per year. That's like a national average. Nowadays, Mexico as a country has 4,000 liters per person per year. So we as a country have 3 times less water today than what we had 50 years ago per person.
Another staggering statistic, 40% of Mexico City's water is lost due to bad pipes. And that means millions of people here don't have regular access to water. Olga Hernandez desperately washes her clothes in a poor neighborhood in Mexico City. For the first time in 5 days, water is coming through the pipes, and she's got to take advantage.
We'll hear the water suddenly turn on when we're sleeping. I leave my window open, and I tell my husband the water is on, and we get up and start collecting it.
Her courtyard is littered with buckets, barrels, and basins filled to the brim to hold her family through the days when the water is shut off. Back in Xochimilco, Santos Contreras says that these canals were almost lost 6 years ago because people were draining the water here too. But now, though polluted, these last vestiges of an ancient city are being enjoyed by visitors who come to see an older Mexico City.
So again, this is the presentation. You can go back and listen to it again. The video will not be locked. On Friday, I will not release the quiz for students that do not do the notes. And I'm going to go back and look at it several days worth of work. If I see that you did not do the note, I will not release the quiz. Again, you should watch this video first and then listen to the current video. Yeah, see you guys later.